For the longest time, if you were looking to get into a brand new BMW in the most affordable way, you were looking at a 2 Series. However, the 2 Series was always a somewhat impractical two-door car until about 5 years ago when the company introduced the all-new Gran Coupe, a 4-door version. Well, for 2025, the 2 Series Gran Coupe has been completely redesigned, and as you can see, it's a comprehensive one with all-new sheet metal, a brand new interior, and more power underneath the hood. So today, as you can see, we are here in Spartanburg, South Carolina to finally take a look at the new 2 Series Gran Coupe. And the big question I want answered, has BMW made enough changes to their most affordable 4-door to make this vehicle more appealing? Stay tuned to find out. So for 2025, as you can see, the design of the 2 Series Gran Coupe has been completely redone. And I have to say, in this blue color, it certainly is a much more striking design. But before we start talking about the exterior look, I want to go ahead and pop the hood and remind you guys what's powering this thing. Now, here in the US, BMW will offer it in 2 different powertrain configurations with either 2 or all-wheel drive. This model here is the more performance-oriented version. It's known as the M235i Gran Coupe, which means we have a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that now makes more power this year, up to 312 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. That's around 11 horsepower more than the previous generation, but it's around 37 pound-feet less. But with that increase in power, BMW says the performance of this vehicle should improve. It comes standard with the company's xDrive all-wheel drive system, and you probably also noticed the engine is mounted in a transverse way, and that's because unlike the 2-door version, this is actually built off of a Mini architecture, which means it's a front-wheel drive platform, but the front-wheel drive variant won't be coming to the US until sometime in mid-2025. The all-wheel drive variant here, BMW claims will get to 60 in around 4.7 seconds, which is honestly pretty quick. We're going to get a chance to drive it out on their proving grounds really quick later on in the video to talk about that. This powertrain also comes standard with a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. No fuel economy estimates were announced just yet, but the previous model was rated at around 2632 mpg, so I imagine this car should be pretty similar. It also will reach a top speed of around 155 miles an hour, and as this car sits, it's around 3,500 pounds, so it is still a relatively light vehicle for modern-day standards. But let's go ahead and close up the hood and talk about the exterior styling of this vehicle. And as you can see, it is quite a big change from the previous generation. In fact, I quite never really warmed up to the old model, but BMW has done a good job with making this vehicle look a lot more aggressive. It has their latest design language. Obviously, the M235i's come with their M Sport package. There's also an M Sport package Plus that you can also add on the base 228i. You can see the headlights have their new light signature with the kind of vertical elements here with the daytime running lights. It's got the full LED headlights. It's got the new BMW grille here, which, by the way, that grille will also illuminate, and BMW says they'll start offering that illumination function in March of next year as it gets closer to the on-sale date. You can see with the M Sport package, which is standard, you get the kind of black accents, the functional air intake openings with some active grille shutters. There's also some functional vents over here, and with this color here, this kind of Turkish blue, it's an extra $3,600. It's part of an individual color. It certainly looks very striking, and I think it really goes well with the overall lines of this vehicle. And as you move around the side profile, this is built on an updated architecture, but BMW's kept the overall dimensions pretty much the same. It still rides in a 105.1 inch wheelbase. Its overall length is around 179.1. It's around 0.7 inches longer, but it's also around an inch taller. The company kept the width the same, which gives this thing, again, really nice proportions. Again, you wouldn't really be able to tell it's a front-wheel drive platform just by looking at it from the side profile. You can see the wheels. These are kind of a special wheel that you get with the M Performance package. It's kind of like a Y-spoke forged gray finish wheel, orbit gray wheel, and then you can see the brakes. Those are massive for a vehicle of this caliber. It's a 15-inch plus rotor clamped down by a 4-piston brake, a gray painted caliper with the cross-drilled rotors. As you can see, it's riding on a 235/40 R19 tire. These are some serious looking brakes, and also has really nice looking wheels to kind of go with the lines of the vehicle. Now, looking around the side profile, the mirrors are black painted. They're also integrated with turn signals, and you got your cameras. And then you can see this model has the black roof, which in the US, this is a really early pre-production model. It'll also come with a panoramic style sunroof, which is part of a premium package. This M badge here on the side also won't be coming on US spec cars. This is, again, an early pre-production model. And then moving over to the rear of the vehicle, with that M Sport Professional package, it has a really nice look with the integrated black spoiler back here. The taillights have also been fully redesigned. In fact, the vehicle itself actually looks wider to me from the rear, even though it's technically not wider. The badging here, you can see, I kind of like the way BMW did this, where they made the M2 portion larger with the 35 smaller. I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of owners doing that when they're driving this vehicle, or if they're an owner, to kind of make it look more like an M2, which actually is more believable because, as you can see, it has a quad outlet exhaust system, which is only on this trim here. The base 228i's will have like a hidden exhaust system. but it'll still have the more aggressive rear bumper with the black painted accents. In terms of the trunk capacity, this is a 4-door, but it also has a conventional trunk. BMW says that the capacity here is around 12 cubic feet, which is actually a pretty good amount. You can fold down these back seats back here via these little levers, which expands the cargo to around 40 cubic feet of space. And if you look underneath here, there's also a pretty decently sized underfloor storage where you can hide some more cargo underneath the cargo load floor. Now moving on to the interior of the all-new 2 Series Gran Coupe. First of all, this interior color, as you can see, is the black Veganza with the Alcantara and the contrast stitch. These seats are unique to the M235i model. You can see they're a sport bucket seat. They look fantastic. I love the blue contrast stitching. It also has the kind of extendable thigh extender. The seats are also, I believe, 12-way power adjustments with a 2-person memory on the driver's side. These seats are also heated, but you cannot get ventilated seats, at least not here in the US. As I get in and shut the door has a pretty solid sounding thunk. And when you look at this interior, you can see the interior itself basically has their newest design language in terms of technology, which means all versions of the Gran Coupe 2 Series will basically have their new 10.25-inch center screen over here. I'm sorry, that's 10.7 inches. And you have a 10.25-inch screen here for the instrument panel. This is basically running their new iDrive 9 infotainment software, which I guess they call BMW Operating System 9. You can see here's the key fob for the vehicle. It's their current key with the M colors here. There's also a remote start from the fob, in addition to your usual buttons over here. BMW also offers their phone as a key if you guys want to use that if you're an owner of the vehicle. But once you kind of get in the vehicle and start it up, you can hear it has that typical starter noise. This is not a mild hybrid like you would find in some other BMWs, so it has that traditional starter noise. In terms of the materials, this may be their least expensive model, but BMW I think has done a good job at making this thing feel more premium. You can see the upper door panel area here has a soft touch injection molded plastic. There's a metal accented door handle here. You have the Harman Kardon premium stereo. There's nice leather over here, which is nice. The steering wheel also is unique to the M Sport M235i with the M badging. It has the M colors, of course. It's a nice thick rim with the paddle shifters here with the boost function. Of course, the steering wheel also offers a manual tilt and telescoping function. You also get a heads-up display here. And then in terms of the dash materials, you can see this area is a soft touch injection molded plastic, and then this right here with the 3M colors, apparently BMW tells us this is actually hand stitched at the factory for every model, which is kind of a nice little detail. You wouldn't expect something like that in an entry-level model. There's also some really cool looking carbon fiber and illuminated trim here for the dashboard vents on the dashboard. There's also a cool little sunglass holder here that fits my sunglasses nicely. You have a wireless phone charging pad here, 2 USB-C charging ports, cup holders, and then right here controls the 7-speed dual clutch transmission. You have your drive mode selector over here, of course, where you can go between several different drive modes. It looks like there's like 7 different drive modes. Most of you are going to be driving it in sport if you're going to be going out on a track on your favorite back road. There's a nice padded center console here. And then if you open it up, you can see the digital key card is located in here. Again, this is a really cool feature if you guys want to basically be a little bit more minimalistic if you don't want to use your phone, which is nice. But overall, these seats, as you can see, are comfortable and supportive. Headroom space is also pretty good, but remember, a pano roof will be included on the US models when you guys go for the premium package. But let's go ahead and hop into the back seat so I can show you guys what that space is like. As you can see, unlike the 2-door version, the Gran Coupe actually has enough space back here to carry some average size adults. Now, I don't have the final legroom figures just yet, but to me this feels like maybe 34 inches, which is a pretty decent amount. This is not where I'd have the seat to drive. It's actually pushed back a little further. You have nicer materials back here, along with the big metal-ish speaker covers, some nice padded areas over here. Surprisingly, there's not a flat floor here in the back, which is kind of strange because this is a front drive bias vehicle, but it does have a drive shaft for the all-wheel drive system. You have rear seat air vents, 2 USB-C charging ports, which is nice. Then if you fold this down, you can see there's an armrest with 2 cup holders. And then in terms of the headroom space, because they made the vehicle about an inch taller, it certainly gives you some space back here if you guys are an average sized adult to actually, fit comfortably back here on longer trips. So here we are at BMW's test grounds here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. You can see it's got the voice commands there, so if it goes off because I keep using the B word, just ignore that. But we're actually getting a chance to quickly drive the M235i Gran Coupe. Now, this is the model that's probably going to be, or not probably, obviously going to be more for enthusiasts. BMW says with 312 horsepower, 295 foot-pounds of torque, it can hit 60 in 4.7 seconds. Now, I do have an extra person in the car with me, so it should be the same. We've got a really lightweight camera person behind us, but let's go ahead and see what we can get here. So to activate the launch control, make sure it's in Sport Plus for everything, and then basically just hold the brake hard, then brake torque it. It holds the revs at around 3,000. Oof. Wow. We just got 4.49 seconds there, and that's actually a little quicker than what BMW's claim is, which doesn't surprise me. The Germans tend to be a little conservative with their numbers, but the one thing I'm surprised about with this car, just like the original M235i Gran Coupe, this thing feels like a proper BMW. I mean, it comes standard with the M adaptive suspension, the M Sport Professional as well. We've got these optional 19-inch forged wheels with a summer performance tire. This vehicle weighs about 3,500 pounds, but it hides its weight really well, and it kind of just shows you how good this chassis is. Remember, this is shared with a Mini Cooper as well. It's a front drive architecture, but it actually grips the road incredibly well. The steering offers a good amount of feedback. This is their proving grounds where it's basically a dog bone. I can put my foot down here and this thing feels quick. It also sounds good. I like the sound that it makes. And it also has really crisp shifts from that 7-speed. It also has a little bit of pops and burbles, which is nice. This car also has the upgraded brakes. The steering feels good. It just has some stability that I wasn't expecting in an entry-level car. It also stays relatively quiet. The ride quality is firmer. I'll have to wait until I get one back home to test to drive on actual roads, but this thing rips. It is a fun vehicle, and this is their entry-level car, because obviously BMW wants you to kind of step it up from this, go to a 3 Series, a 5 Series, but hey, if you guys are looking for an entry-level BMW that starts at under 40 grand, this one's gonna be around 50 though. This new 2 Series Gran Coupe is definitely a vehicle that belongs in the ultimate driving machine family that is BMW. So even though the 2 Series Gran Coupe has only been on the market since 2020, it's proven to be a relatively good seller for BMW. I mean, in fact, the entire 2 Series lineup, while it is part of a small portion of sales for BMW, it's an important one because this is the cheapest way to get into a new BMW product. The company manages to do around 12,000-ish units in the States pretty much every year. And we don't know what BMW does in terms of just individual sales of the Gran Coupe. That number represents the entire 2 Series lineup. But if you guys are looking to get your hands on the new 2 Series Gran Coupe, BMW says production begins early next year with deliveries in the US starting in March of 2025, and they already announced pricing. The base 228i xDrive with all-wheel drive will start at around $41,600. If you guys wait a little bit longer for the two-wheel drive version, the front drive variant, you'll save about $2,000. If you guys want to get your hands on the M235i version, the most powerful model, you're going to have to spend at least $49,500. So it's about $8 grand to go to this version here. Now, of course, that's before you add some options. This color that you're seeing here, this beautiful blue, is about $3,600 extra when you add in features like the M Sport Professional Pro package, the premium package, of course, the upgraded for the wheels. All in, this model here, I would estimate, is probably going to be closer to $60,000. We don't know final pricing just yet because you can't quite add or build this vehicle with this exact color. But if you're looking at something in the competitive class, obviously there's a lot of choices to be made. But if you're also comparing this to a 3 Series, the 2 Series Gran Coupe effectively is around $5,000 cheaper. So with all the changes that they've made, they've certainly made this vehicle a little bit more sportier and a little bit more stylistically attractive compared to the previous generation. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below of the new 2 Series Gran Coupe. If you're also looking to see the latest cars I'm testing, be sure to follow me on Instagram at redline_reviews, like us on Facebook, and as always, guys, please keep subscribing to the Redline Reviews YouTube channel for all the latest reviews. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video.